Welcome everybody to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show, and every day we're checking the pulse of Husker Nation. We're doing something a little bit different today. It's going to be a Wild Card Wednesday edition of the show with a very special guest, a very special edition. Man, needs no introduction. I'm just going to dive right into it. Mr. Tommie Frazier, because I want to get to these questions. What is the number one thing the offense has to do to turn this season around, starting this Saturday against Rutgers? And I'm just diving right into it, man. I'm excited to hear your answers.
Well, the first thing they need to do is shore up the pass protection. You know, as we saw last week and the week before that, it seemed like every time apparently and stuff dropping back, he was being pressure hit. So we got to shore up that. Second thing, we just got to be smart on how we call plays. You know, you're 2nd and 3 on the 9-yard line and you throw a bow screen. That just doesn't make any sense to me. You know, you have 2 downs to try to get a first down, and then you can be creative after that. But so we just got to first thing, we got to be better pass protection, and 2, be more. Don't try to be so fancy as far as offensive play calling.
Now, what do you see out of Tanner Lee? What can he do better? Obviously, he's under duress, but he obviously didn't play that well either. What can he do better?
Well, I think he just stopped trying to do too much. I think he's trying to do too much right now, and just take what the defense is giving him. You know, when you have a quarterback who hasn't played many games in the last 2 years, and they feel like the skill is still there, but when the pressure's on, you know, they get one-sided. So just take what the defense is giving him. Stop trying to do too much.
Now, we've seen the offense play decent at times, the first couple games, and struggle. We've seen the defense struggle. Now they're playing well, it seems, the last game and a half. What does this team need to do as a whole? What's the biggest thing they need to do as a whole entire team to help turn this season around to the right direction?
Well, I think the first thing from the coaching side of it is make things simpler for the guys. You know, they are running a new offense and a new style of offense, and they all run a new style of defense. And there comes a point in time when you have to, and a great guy saw Kevin Stills, you got to dummy it down. You know, so you got to dummy it down to where the person who's not the most brightest down on the field can pick it up. Which means sometimes you got to keep it real simple. Stop trying to be so fancy, because there's a lot of teams out there that do the same thing, but they just keep it simple and they let their athletes make the plays.
Now, what's the biggest difference that you see from this team versus some of the Nebraska teams that you played on?
Well, I think the biggest thing is depth. You know, you might have the first string that might be the best players, but after that you see a drop off in the second string and third string. Where in the past, and we go back to the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, you didn't see that. So the first string was hurt or was pulled, the second guy went in and was just as good. So I think that's the big thing right now, that they don't have enough depth at key positions.
Talk to me about what you saw on the sidelines and the energy, lack thereof, whatever that case may be, from the players, the coaches, just the energy throughout the game last Saturday.
Well, what I saw was no leadership on the sideline, either from the coaches or the players. You know, I didn't see anyone trying to get guys motivated, fired up, or stop things from spiraling down. And that's the most important thing. And I think I tweeted out was the worst first half I've ever seen of Austin I've ever seen last week. And I said something about, I hope a leader steps up. Well, who's going to be the leader step and make a play? Well, we didn't have a leader on the field to step and make a play. We didn't have a leader on the sideline. You know, you can talk about being a leader in the locker room, but when you're in a game situation, the leaders have to step up and make sure things don't start downhill as the way they did Saturday.
Now, when it comes to Patrick O'Brien, is it a situation, I think Lee's going to start this game, I think we know that. Is it a situation where he's got a bit of a short leash, or do you stand behind him? Because he won the job outright in spring. So do you stand behind Tanner Lee, or if things go a little sideways early on, would you inject Patrick O'Brien into the game?
Well, I think it's one of those deals that only coach can have a feel for that. But I did think on Saturday that there was a point in time to where when Tanner Lee wasn't playing his best, so let Patrick O'Brien go in there for a series. That way Tanner can come to the sideline and gain his thoughts and see what's actually happening. Because the one thing with a quarterback, that once it starts going downhill and you don't feel comfortable with stuff, it goes worse. And you know, you can look at NFL guys who when they start playing bad, it gets worse. So there comes a point in time where you have to pull a guy out and say, hey, we're going to pull you out for a couple of series just so you can regain your thoughts, get your wits back to you, and then put you back in.
I'm curious.
Who knows? Patrick O'Brien probably could have made a spark. We don't know. But I don't think Saturday would have made a difference who was the quarterback.
I agree with you. It'd be interesting just to see what happens, but I do agree with you. Now, I'm curious. This picture of the Northern Illinois player celebrating in our house on our field at Memorial Stadium. Have you seen it? And if you have, what's your reaction to it?
Well, I've seen it, and I don't have a problem with it. You know, you have a smaller Division I school, but we paid to come in here, and they came in here and beat Goliath. You know, so Davis came in here and beat Goliath. And I don't think it was a celebration of being disrespect. I think it was happy. And if you don't want a team doing that, then you beat them. You know, so for anybody who's upset with that, you know, I just think they don't understand sports when you got a small school like Northern Illinois comes into a traditional powerhouse in Nebraska and beats them on their home field. So I don't have a problem with that.
Give me your thoughts on our head coach, Mike Riley.
You know, honestly, I don't know much about him. You know, I think that he's a great. I'm not gonna say great man. I think he's a good manager, a good CEO. I just think that he needs to figure out a way to motivate the coaches to get the players to do exactly what they're telling them to do. You know, that's the one thing about Coach Osborne, to where, you know, he had his hands on everyday operations, but he challenged the coaches to make sure the players did exactly what they told us to do. And I don't see that. I think there's a little bit of a lack of physical environment right now around the program, and that has to change, and it starts at the top.
Between you and me, and I won't drop the player's name because I didn't get his permission, I got a text on Sunday morning from a former player. Most fans would recognize his name. And then he said exactly what you said, and he's been back and trained with them in the offseason. So I won't drop his name because I didn't ask for his permission, but there are other former players who think the same thing as well. Here's the million-dollar question. I expressed my answer to this on Monday on my show. Should we fire Mike Riley and or the AD Sean Eichhorst? If we should, when should we do it? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I don't get into it because I've been a coach before, so I understand about hiring this guy, firing that guy. When it comes to administration, that's not my call because the Board of Regents are responsible for that hire, and when the time comes, he's going to be evaluated just like everybody else. Now, when it comes to Coach Riley, I'm going to stand by this. Is he doing a great job? No. But with all the transition and changing of coaches that we've had here in the last 10, 12 years, changing another coach at this time is only going to set the program farther back. You know, so if you tell me, ask me the question right now, should we fire Mike Riley this year? No. You know, now, me saying that, well, if seasons continue to fire down here, should there be changes on the coaching staff? And most staff, you know, last year they felt defense wasn't playing well, so they basically went in and did an overhaul on the defensive side of the ball. You know, maybe this year, maybe it's time to do an overhaul on the offensive side of the ball. You know, but something has to change because obviously something's not working to where they've lost 6 of the last 9 games, which is unheard of at Nebraska. You know, so something has to change, and maybe it starts with maybe get rid of the coordinator. I don't know. I don't have to answer that. But I'm just going down the list. Well, maybe you get rid of the running backs, but maybe you get the line coach. Who knows? But to continue going downhill to where you see inconsistencies on both sides of the ball or offense, then changes have to be made.
I got to ask, because a lot of people were talking about Les Miles in the booth on Saturday, who obviously knows the game of football, can't express it very well vocally. First time he's ever done that. Sure, he'll get better. But what would your thoughts be if, let's say, the season goes downhill? Les Miles has a son on the team, clearly rooted for the Huskers throughout the broadcast. What would your thoughts be on possibly hiring him next year if this season does unravel on us?
Here's the thing about that. You know, the one thing I hate doing, and it happened to us at Baylor, to where you start throwing names out before the season even opens. You know, that's not fair to the administration. That's not fair to the coaches. I know fans have what they have their wish list, but you know, if it comes down to it, and the university and the athletic department really decide to get rid of Mike Riley, then that's when time to say who do you think will be the best. You know, but right now, I think it's unfair. I think it's not right to start throwing names out on a wish list when the coach still has a job. You know, who's about to say they might turn around and win the Big Ten West? If they win the Big Ten West, are people going to say fire Coach Riley? No. So let's just wait until November and see what happens. But right now, I think it's just unfair and it's disrespectful to start throwing out names when you have a coach there.
All right. So far this year, what has been the biggest surprise? You could say disappointment, but what's been the biggest surprise about the Huskers to you so far this year? The biggest surprise, I thought they would be playing a lot better than what they are. It's been in the third year of Coach Riley regime. Now, I understand that you have a quarterback that they run an offense that they hadn't ran, the style else they want to run, now they can run it now. But I also understand that he's a 3-4 guy, so he got defense that he wants to run now. But you still have a lot of players who played a lot of games. And just the inconsistency
that's happening with this team, whether it's offense or defense or special teams, it's scary. And, we'll see this weekend how much they improve because, when you hear players talk about hiccups, hiccups are something when you drink water too fast and you get air bubbles in your system and your body trying to release those air bubbles. This is not air bubbles here. Football is not air bubbles. This is a gladiator sport. So if you have a hiccup in a gladiator sport, you're gonna get knocked out. So they have to find a way to do what the coaches are asking. The coaches got to find a way to do things that the players can handle.
All right. I want to thank Tommie for joining me. You can find him on his Facebook Live every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. following the games. Until tomorrow, go big red, and always remember,
you can throw up the bones, baby.